Jay-Z. Oh my God! I really like him though. And I don't care who he's dating. I always had a crush on him though.
All we do is make it.
This is my public appeal. Blue. The first Blue. Not they daughter Blue. Blu Cantrell.
For years, whispers in hip-hop circled a secret, an alleged hidden relationship, a pregnancy, and a silence that wasn't by choice. But what if that silence got shattered? Was Blu Cantrell pushed out just to protect the Carter empire? And here's the wildest twist. What if Blue Ivy, Jay-Z's daughter, isn't even Beyoncé's biological child?
Blue, it's time to talk. It's time for you to sing again.
This theory has haunted the industry for years, and once you hear it all, the name Blue might hit way different. Before her sudden vanishing, Blu Cantrell, real name Tiffany Cobb, was blowing up. She had the voice, the look, the star power. After years of background vocals for names like Diddy, she finally stepped into the spotlight.
That's a Blu Cantrell, but yeah, no, he was dating Blue.
Wow,
He had another
he
woman that was pregnant that was about to come out with her pregnancy around the same time.
Was she from the islands?
Something like that.
In 2001, Blue dropped her debut album So Blue, and it exploded. Her single Hit 'em Up style, Oops, was everywhere. The album went gold in 2 weeks, hit the Billboard 200, and even pulled in 2 Grammy nominations. She was rising fast, landing interviews, locking in tours, and standing shoulder to shoulder with Ashanti, Maya, and Monica. But just as she was blowing up, the energy shifted. Not because of sales or bad music, but because of Jay-Z. Insiders say Blue and Jay weren't just cool, they were close. Real close. They were spotted together at events, vacations, even exclusive parties thrown by Diddy. Rumors flew about a romance. It got so loud that Wendy Williams asked Blue directly on air if she had ever kissed Jay-Z. Blue just laughed nervously. No denial, no explanation, just that smirk and silence. The damage was done. The rumors blew up, and instead of clearing things up, Blue made them even louder.
Jay-Z worked very hard to erase you and me.
This all went down just as Beyoncé was launching her solo career. And if the whispers are true, Jay-Z was caught between 2 stars, one bold and fiery like Blue, and the other younger and more polished, Beyoncé. During her infamous Wendy Williams interview, Blue dropped a bomb, implying Jay-Z didn't pick Beyoncé for her talent, but because she was younger and easier to control. At the time, people brushed it off as jealousy. But now, it sounds like a warning from someone who felt used and tossed aside. Blue didn't hide her feelings either. She accused Beyoncé of biting her whole style. And just like that, the bookings dried up. Her contract with Arista quietly vanished. Her music disappeared from radio. Within months, Blu Cantrell went from rising star to silence. Was it bad timing, or was she shut down?
Blue.
Jay-Z worked very hard to erase you and me, just like he did Elle, just like he did his relationship with R. Kelly, just like he did his relationship with Aaliyah. Blue, it's time to talk.
Jaguar Wright didn't hesitate. She said straight up that Blue didn't disappear. She was erased. Wright claimed Jay-Z and Beyoncé used their power to blacklist Blue, and even naming their daughter Blue Ivy was no coincidence. She said, Jay-Z worked very hard to erase you and me. Blue tried to come back in 2013, calling herself a free agent and teasing a 3rd album, but nothing dropped. No songs, no videos, no hype. Then, in 2014, it all spiraled. Blue was seen barefoot, running through Santa Monica screaming someone was gassing her. She got hospitalized, labeled unstable, and the media buried her in scandal. But was it really a meltdown or a desperate escape? Because that wild theory, that Blu Cantrell is Blue Ivy's real mom, starts sounding less like a fantasy and more like a cover-up. Let's talk timing. Blu Cantrell vanished from the scene around 2004, right after her 2nd album dropped. Her career didn't just slow down, it stopped cold. No music, no interviews, no appearances. And then, out of nowhere, in 2012, Beyoncé gives birth to Blue Ivy Carter. Fans clocked it immediately. The name Blue? It felt way too specific. Some said it was about Jay-Z's obsession with the color, but others were convinced it was a secret nod to Blu Cantrell.
Other mistress that has love child to Jay-Z, allegedly. I didn't work on that story, but the reporters that did reported that, she was paid very well to basically shut up.
And here's where it gets even darker. Some fans believe Blue was forced into silence. Either she gave up a child under pressure or was made to end a pregnancy. And Beyoncé's pregnancy timeline, it only fuels the fire. Remember that 2011 interview in Australia? Beyoncé sat down in a tight dress, then leaned forward, and her belly folded like it deflated. Viewers instantly questioned if she was even pregnant. The rumors of a prosthetic belly and secret surrogate exploded. Now pair that with Blue's disappearance, and suddenly it feels way too clean. If Beyoncé did use a surrogate, who was the real mother? Some believe it was Blu Cantrell, that she was forced to carry the baby, then erased. Jaguar Wright, known for exposing industry secrets, didn't hold back. She said Jay-Z and Beyoncé erased Blue, used their power to silence her, erase the competition, and rewrite history. She even said naming their daughter Blue Ivy was calculated. According to Blue, when Beyoncé found out she was pregnant, she panicked and allegedly tried to poison her, even forced her to end it. Now ask yourself, was this just showbiz or something much darker? According to Blue, it wasn't the industry or contracts that broke her, it was what happened behind closed doors. Her 2014 breakdown, barefoot in Santa Monica, screaming about poison, was instantly labeled a meltdown. But fans saw a pattern, just like with Britney, Kanye, Martin Lawrence, and Jaguar Wright. Once you speak out, they label you crazy. Then they erase you. And that's why the Blue Ivy theory won't die. Even if Beyoncé is the biological mom, the cover-up, the NDAs, the perfectly crafted image, it makes the whole thing feel too staged to ignore. Think about it. If Blue had a baby with Jay-Z, that would shatter everything. Beyoncé's queen image? Cracked. Jay-Z? Exposed. Not just as a cheater, but as a man who fathered a child with another woman and buried it. And Blue? She'd go from a forgotten name to the missing piece in one of the biggest celebrity stories ever. But here's the kicker. Blue never said she had a baby, never showed photos, never named anyone. She just vanished. And that's exactly what had to happen. Her career didn't just fade, it disappeared. One day she's charting, Grammy nominated. The next, radio silence. Why? Let's rewind to 2003. Blue dropped her second album, Bittersweet. Great vocals, Grammy nod. But the label barely promoted it. Tours were cut, interviews dried up. Meanwhile, Beyoncé was getting pushed to global stardom, and Blue was getting iced out. Then her contract with Arista? Gone. No reason, no goodbye. And the comparisons only made it messier. Blue said Beyoncé wasn't just winning, she was copying her. Like Blue's Roundup video, Western-themed, bold-fashion, desert vibes. Months later, Beyoncé dropped Work It Out with a suspiciously similar look. Coincidence or calculated? Right after Jay-Z and Beyoncé dropped U03 Bonnie and Clyde, fans couldn't help but notice. The visuals looked way too familiar. Why? Because Blu Cantrell had just dropped her own video with a similar vibe. Then came the Sean Paul situation. Blue's track Breathe, featuring Sean Paul, became one of her biggest hits. Not long after, Beyoncé releases Baby Boy, also with Sean Paul. Same island-style beats, same energy. To Blue, this wasn't a coincidence. It felt like calculated copying. And who had Beyoncé's back through it all? Jay-Z. While Beyoncé's visuals got sharper and her brand leveled up, Blue's momentum crashed. Her budget got cut. Promo vanished. Her name faded. She was being pushed out, and it looked intentional. Then Blue made a bold move. She spoke up. In an interview with The Guardian, she didn't sugarcoat anything when asked about Beyoncé. Blue said, "I'm an adult, she's younger, and if she's doing what you're saying, then she's being a little immature. If she goes there with me, it's the wrong move." She added, "If you have issues with your man, handle that. Don't take it out on the girl." Fans saw the shift. Blu wasn't holding back anymore. She was done playing nice. She was calling out Beyoncé and Jay-Z. And right after that, silence. No new album, no tour, no comeback. She vanished the second she pushed back. Jaguar Wright says that's no accident. She's called it out for years. Strategic erasure. According to her, if you don't follow the rules, you get erased. And in her words, Jay-Z worked very hard to make sure of that. This was never just about music. It was about control. If Blu really had a relationship with Jay-Z, maybe even a pregnancy, then pushing her out wasn't about chart competition. It was about shutting her down and burying the story. And Blu wasn't the only one. Look at Maya, Monica, even Aaliyah. All three were thriving before Beyoncé's solo career exploded. Then suddenly, Maya was off the award circuit, doing indie shows. Monica stopped getting radio love, and Aaliyah, on the rise in both music and film, tragically died in 2001, right before Destiny's Child took over. Some fans believe this isn't just coincidence, it's a pattern. By 2004, Jay-Z became president of Def Jam. That same year, Blu's contract got dropped. She later found out the lawyer advising her was also working for the label, a clear conflict of interest. She said, "If I'd known, I would have gotten my own lawyer. They took what was mine." She had no rights to her masters, no real royalties, and when she tried to fight back, nothing. No support, no platform, just silence. Then came the 2014 incident. Blu had been gone from the scene for years. No new album, no tour, barely a headline. And suddenly she reappears, in the worst way. She was found barefoot at 2 a.m. in Santa Monica, yelling that someone was trying to poison her with gas. Cops picked her up. Media jumped on it. The headlines? Unstable, unhinged, washed up. But fans weren't buying it. They'd seen this before. Just like Martin Lawrence in '96, walking through LA traffic, yelling. Another celeb unraveling under suspicious circumstances. Same playbook, different name. Remember Martin Lawrence in '96? Waving his arms, yelling that people were trying to kill him? Kanye in 2016? Forcibly hospitalized after calling out Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and the industry elite. Britney Spears, labeled unstable after years of control and manipulation. It's a pattern. Speak out and they paint you crazy. Blu Cantrell's story fits the same mold. But here's the twist. Blu didn't stay silent. She eventually spoke up, and what she revealed flipped everything. She said her 2014 breakdown wasn't just mental health. It was the aftermath of trauma no one let her talk about. She claimed the industry didn't just forget her, it betrayed her. The lawyer assigned to guide her through her Arista deal. According to Blu, he was secretly working for the label and Jay-Z's circle. They were all working together to basically take what was mine. She says she was set up, misled, and tossed aside. And then came the most chilling part. Blu says someone tried to poison her with gas. That night in Santa Monica, not a breakdown, a desperate escape. And she's not alone. Te'ira Mari, once seen as Rockefeller's next big star, had a similar fall. Insiders say Beyoncé allegedly shut it all down after rumors she got too close to Jay-Z. A blind item claimed Bey warned every major label. No deals for Te'ira. Anyone who tried got paid a visit. Then there's Kathy White, linked to Jay-Z, rumored pregnant, allegedly planned to go public until she was found dead the day before. Case closed. No questions. But whispers now point not at Jay-Z, but at Beyoncé. Some think Kathy was silenced before she could speak. Blu's breakdown wasn't a meltdown. It was her final scream. No label, no help, just erased. And the machine kept moving like she never existed. Blu Cantrell wasn't the only one. As Beyoncé rose, other R&B queens started disappearing. Not fading, vanishing. No closure, no goodbye, just gone. Take Mia. In the late 90s and early 2000s, she was everywhere. Grammy wins, major features, even collabs with Jay-Z. But right when Beyoncé stepped out from Destiny's Child, Mia's momentum hit a wall. She got pushed to indie labels, struggled to get music out, and had to grind without support. Years later, she hinted at the truth. She'd been blackballed and forced to rebuild her career from scratch. Then there's Aaliyah. Before Beyoncé took the crown, Aaliyah was the one. She had the look, the sound, the movies, the red carpet presence. She was about to dominate both Hollywood and music. But in 2001, she died in a tragic plane crash. Right as Destiny's Child was wrapping up, and Beyoncé was getting groomed for solo superstardom. Some fans aren't claiming conspiracy, but they are questioning the timing, because after Aaliyah's death, no one was left in Beyoncé's lane. The competition was gone, and that takes us back to Blu Cantrell. What if her story wasn't a one-off? What if it was the blueprint? A warning shot? A test case? A woman with the voice, the fan base, and the industry backing, until it all vanished. The industry's done this before. It'll do it again. But now, the cracks are showing. Whistleblowers like Jaguar are speaking up. Buried interviews are surfacing. Old contracts and documents are slipping through the cracks. Because if Blu Cantrell could be erased like that, who's next? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're ready for more of the truth they don't want you to hear, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.